All right, here we go. With a blank slate, we're going to go with File, New, and set our new screen, our new picture to 1024 by 615 if you're going to do a single size screen. If you're going to do a dual, then you need to set this to 960 by 615. Okay? Now, this is how you make the client ad, and I'm going to show you how to make the sponsor ad. All right, so in this case, this is the client ad, 960 by 615. Right now we have a blank old plain palette. So I'm going to use this thing I like to use, which is called Gradient Fill Tool, which is the bottom tool. I'm going to click on it, and the Gradient Fill allows you to fill from one side to another with one color and then spreading to another color. In this case, I'm going to use the white color for the first color and the yellow for the second color. And I'm going to click on the left side and hold and pull a line using my left mouse button, and then let it go. And notice it graduates the color of the background from white to yellow. The further I pull, the further it is spread. Okay, making it more even. If I go just to an edge, well, of course, it's just going to make it a little white here. I can go from a corner. I can go from that corner. I can go from right to left. I can go from left to right. Okay? So now if we're okay with our background colors, just like painting of a canvas, we've now got our background done. Now we're going to add some foreground stuff. We might want an image, so we can even go out to Google. Let me go ahead and go out to Google. Now I'm going to close some of these other windows while I'm at it. And let's say we just want an image. Let's say we're going to do something on cars. All right, so I'm going to get me a car. Let me get me a Ford Mustang. Here we go. And when I do that search, we're going to go ahead and click on the button that says Images. So it only brings up images in the search. Once we see a nice Mustang that we like, let's look at the picture sizes underneath. Here's one that's 640 by 480. Okay, so I'm going to click that. And click on the image. And there's that image. I'm going to right mouse click and copy it. Then I'm going to bounce back over to my photo impact. I'm going to click on the arrow gadget or the pointer gadget and then click inside my picture and say paste. There is my image now. Okay? Now it's a little big for my taste because we need to write some writing. So while it's highlighted like that, we're going to go over here and click on this transform tool. Okay? And now we're going to grab the edge of that thing and then we can shrink it to whatever size we want. Alright, there we go. And to make it a little more dramatic, we're going to right mouse click it and put a shadow on it. Okay? Now we got like a little three-dimensional image sitting on our yellow and white palette. Okay? Now we need to make some ads. So we're going to click on the text gadget, click inside. And when my machine sort of catches up to me, there we go. There's a text box shows. I'm going to make the text maybe at 50 point and just say for sale. Okay? Now you notice the text is sort of small, but instead of me trying to figure out what font size to use, I'm going to go ahead and use that transform gadget again while it's highlighted and then just grab its edge and make it fit to my screen. That's simple. Okay? For a little drama again, we'll shadow this. And in this case, we're going to make the shadow throw smaller. So we're going to give it a 5 in the Y and a 5 in the X offset. And we're only going to make the transparency of 5. So it's really a hard black shadow underneath, which makes it stand up sort of in 3D on the page. Okay? Now, I don't like the size of my picture again, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my picture and re-transform it and grow it again to be a little bigger. There we go. Now, I'm going to click my other gadget again and go ahead and put in the text and put in a price. We'll say $45,000. Alright, which I have no idea if that's what it costs, but I would never pay that. Let me change the font size to make it a little thicker. And again, while it's selected, I'm going to grow its size to fit my area. Okay. I can even put some little fancy things in, like let me click on the path drawing tool and click on arrow. Alright. And we can just point something to, like, I don't know, like the Mustang part. And let's make that arrow a little bit thicker. So we're going to change the width of that arrow to be pretty thick. Boop. There you go. And remember, anything highlighted, you can always click and give it a shadow. I like shadows if you use them properly. Normally I put 5 in everything, and that looks pretty good. Okay. And we can even shadow this if we want. Okay. So now we have a nice thing. We can even, while it's highlighted, we can even change the color of it if we like. Got a lot of reds in here. We can make it blue. We can click on the arrow. And I think I can change its color. Make it green. There you go. That don't look too good, but you get the picture. Alright, so now we got a green arrow pointing to the Ford's emblem. We got a blue $45,000, and we got a red for sale on a orange Ford Mustang. Alright, when we're done, we want to save this as a UFO so we can come back and change this at any time, because UFO is the native format for objects in Photo Impact. But when we want to make it into an ad, we want to go ahead and save it as a JPEG. So say save as, and it's probably going to default to what I had before, so it says JPEG. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as, we'll just call it car. And remember, if we put the T underscore in front of that word car, the system will know it's a temporary ad and put a little T in the screen. So now that we made this ad, now let's go over here and go to the gallery where we control our ads. Click on our face, that's my face. Find the location we want to put that ad in. In this case, it's a regular ad, so we want to use the bigger area. We're going to add item, browse, find our card, our car, should I say. We can call this a test car. And then go down to the bottom of this and hit add item. And when it's done, well, of course, just like before, it's in the system. Alright, now, to prove it's in the system, I'm going to scroll down here and see, do I see the thumbnail? And there's the thumbnail of it. We can click on it one more time, and it gives you the intermediate size, which you can then send as a greeting card to the person you made the ad for. Now, let's switch on over to the system to see if it got updated. Okay. And I'm going to force it to restart. And in real life, every hour it would update the system. But I'm restarting it so I can speed the process up for you guys here. So I just saw it update its ad right now, and I will show it to you again when it comes back on the screen. So I'll leave it as a little window there just in case I miss it. So right now what we just did was created an ad from scratch for the big area, or the client, for the sales area. Now let me show you how to make an ad for the sponsor area. Remember, the sponsor area takes GIF files, not JPEGs. It takes GIF files. Also, the size of that is different because remember, it's a smaller area and it's sort of like a tower. Okay, it's it's in a vertical mode, whereas the other one is more in a horizontal position. Okay. Now let me go back to the graphic program. We're going to minimize this because we don't need that. Ad is done. We're going to now go ahead and say File, New, and we're going to create a new ad from scratch for the sponsor area. The sponsor area, I think, is 320 pixels wide by the same 615. Remember, they're the same height. It's just their width has changed. Now let me make sure I'm telling the truth here because I have it listed up there. Yes, 320 pixels, and you'll see that right on the system. I have it listed right across the top where you control your ads. Okay. Now there we have our tower ad. We can do the same thing. We can spread it using that tool, the gradient fill tool. We can put a picture in there just like we wanted to before, except in this case now we're going to do, I'm just going to assume that the ad is complete. We're going to now save this file as a GIF file. And you change the JPEG to GIF. And let me go find the GIF. GIF. There we go, GIF. And now we save it to GIF. Okay? And I'm not going to save it, but that's basically all you do. And all you would do is upload that same ad. Well, I'll go ahead. Let me go ahead and save it. I'll save it. So we'll just call this sponsor. Okay? Alright, so it's now saving that ad, which is really just a blank screen at the moment. And we're going to go back to our software that controls our ads. Okay, we're going to go back to the folder that has our ads in it. And I'm still looking at the bottom to make sure the ad's not changed yet. And what you'll notice is now you need to find the associated sponsor folder that works with the client folder of that same system. And the way I have them marked in my system is it would be like System 1 or the name of the location, whatever. In this case, here's one that says Office. Well, here's the Office-sponsor system. Okay? Oh, there it is. There's that ad. See that? There's that ad we created. All right, looking nice and pretty. Okay? All right, now let's go back. Let's look at that associated sponsor folder that goes with our Office. If we click on that folder, notice that all the ads in here are in the vertical mode. They're only 320 by 615. And what do? We do the same thing. We do add item. And in this case, instead of adding a JPEG, we're going to add the GIF file we created. And there it is right there called sponsor. Same exact method. It's exact same method. It's just now you have two folders, one for the sponsor area that uses GIF files, one for the client area for selling ads that uses JPEG files. We can call this sponsor 1 or something. And we submit that. Add items. Now these I don't have set up to go to Facebook or anything like that, so I don't have these going out to show you. I only have the bigger area going out to my Facebook. And to prove that we have it in the system, just back up in the folder and you'll see there is that ad, that client ad. Okay, I mean the sponsor ad. Okay, when the system updates, you'll see that it also show up on the screen just as the regular sales ads did.